So here I am at the bastion of capitalism, global capitalism, Wall Street, New York City, across from the New York Stock Exchange. When you look at the New York Stock Exchange, what do you see? You see people in the streets, but what do you see? I'll tell you what I see. I see opportunity, but the opportunity that I see is significantly different from the opportunity that almost all the bankers and the traders and the investors and the capitalists see. I see the opportunity of taking all the people here and allowing them to do what is done through the stock exchange directly. What I see is the power of the peer-to-peer economy. So, what is the peer-to-peer economy? It is the economy enabled by modern technology to allow Peter to deal directly with Paul. It allows Susan to deal directly with Sarandon. Play on words. Through blockchain technology, through the technology that enables Bitcoin and the Bitcoin network, we have an opportunity to take the hub and spoke economy of the last, several 100,000 years and turn it into a much more efficient, much more trustworthy, much more transparent, and much more durable financial system, the peer-to-peer economy. When discussing the peer-to-peer economy, we have the potential market that is larger than everything. As a matter of fact, it is everything. We're talking about all value in creation, all money, all transactions. You see, don't be misled by the fact that I'm sitting here at the financial bastion of the world. What the peer-to-peer economy enables is all transactions of all value to be done directly, from person to person, from company to company, from entity to entity, without centralized exchanges, without gatekeepers such as banks, brokers, insurers, agents. Now, of course, if they add value to the equation, they're necessary. What makes the peer-to-peer economy more efficient is it automatically extracts those who do not add value from the equation. So now that we had a quick rundown of what the peer-to-peer economy is, basically fully distributed capitalism. Capitalism in its purest essence. Much more efficient than what we see here and what we've been used to. So, how does one take advantage of the peer-to-peer economy? Well, the peer-to-peer economy is enabled by blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is a technology that sits behind the Bitcoin network. The Bitcoin network is a protocol-based network that enables trustless transactions. Now, the last protocol-based network that really took off actually changed the world. As a matter of fact, anybody who is, say, 21 years or younger doesn't know life without it. Its protocol was known as TCP/IP, with the IP standing for Internet Protocol. This protocol-based network, the Internet, allowed for seamless transactions through Internet packet transference. Let's forget the nerdy talk. You're able to send information inexpensively around the world, close to free. This transformed everybody, but in the beginning, or transformed life for everybody, but in the beginning, when the internet was first burgeoning, say 1993, 1994, only nerds and propeller heads and engineers were familiar with it. And then as companies started to catch on, they tried to use this technology, but they used it in a very haphazard way. For instance, when they created websites, big media companies, when they would create a website, they would take a picture of their physical newspaper, the front page, and they post that picture on their website, and they consider that progressive use of the technology. Fast forward 20 years into the future. You have Facebook, social media, Google, YouTube, peer-to-peer video streaming. You have Google Search, you have Google Voice, you have Amazon, you have eBay, new forms of commerce, e-commerce. You know, the sky essentially seems to be the limit. But the internet-based platform was just the very, very beginning of how to take a protocol-based network and use it to extrapolate, move into the future. This paradigm shift is significantly greater than the paradigm shift from wired information transfer to wireless through the internet. And think about the wealth that was created. Before then, IBM ruled mini computers. From IBM and mini computers to PCs, it was Microsoft's reign. Microsoft survived the paradigm shift from the PC to the internet, but they didn't remain on top. And from PC computing to mobile and internet computing, then you had Google, you have Facebook, and you have Apple on top, the mobile computing giants. Now, instead of sending information packets from point A to point B, we're now able to send value and consensus-based agreement and trust from point A to point B. Much larger market. So, if you would have wanted to be an investor, early investor in Microsoft, you know, pre-IPO, if you wanted to be an early investor in Google, pre-IPO, or Facebook, or Apple, you missed out, and you missed out on the largest companies in the world. Apple and Google are valued to be the largest companies in the world in terms of market share. 700 billion there, 800 billion here. I suppose, and I propose, that the early companies in value transfer, the peer-to-peer economy, will be the Googles, will be the Apples of the next paradigm. That's where Veritaseum stands. Veritaseum and its founding partners, myself, Reggie Middleton, who you can Google, Wikipedia, etc., has been on the forefront on many things, such as information technology, finance, valuation.
And leave it to contrarian, badass Reggie Middleton.
And I should note that Reggie put a note out to his clients. I'm not sure the exact price point on Apple, but it was doggone near the top, saying, get out of the stock. It was a great call.
So far ahead of everybody and so detailed, and then he started warning about Bear Stearns and Lehman. Well, he was so far ahead of the curve, I actually thought he was nuts.
He called the housing crash. He called the collapse of Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers. He's been harping on the crisis in the Eurozone banking system for years now, so he's just the guy to talk to.
He told us how 0% interest rates were starving the banks, that it was designed to save. Now, at the time, you were the only analyst in the world to mention that it would starve the banks, and you've been proven correct.
Reggie Middleton, who nailed Facebook, by the way.
Crown the champion, the winner of the first ever CNBC Stocks Draft.
Yay!
Reggie Middleton!
It was Google, which was up by 46%.
Reggie!
Well done, Reggie Middleton. But you know what, Reggie? This is a double amazing feat, because last year you won as well.
Our Chief Technology Officer, Matt Bogosian, absolute brain. He has spent 14 to 16 years software engineering, leading teams, small, nimble, and large groups, Amazon, Yahoo, Grand Central Communications, purchased technology used to make Google Voice. He is also an intellectual property attorney, Columbia University Ivy League grad, and has practiced in the Valley area. intellectual property and patent attorney. Software engineer, come patent attorney, excellent for making smart contracts. Smart contracts is what powers our system. In addition, we have strong engineers and we have strong developers. Our team is solid, as well as analysts. Moving to the next portion of the value proposition of Veritaseum. We were early. In mid-2013, I started reading up on Bitcoin and the technology behind it. And unlike everybody else who dealt with coins and payments and remittances, I focused on smart contracts. Conditional value transfer. Not money, but actual value. December 2013, I took the ISDA agreement, congealed it into a smart contract, hired developers, retraded and settled the first blockchain-based swap. We were the first individuals, the first entity, the first people, not only to conceptualize, but to actually execute on the capital markets application of blockchain technology. December, say 3 to 4 months later, early to mid-2014, we filed multiple applications. We have a burgeoning patent portfolio for technology involving the transfer of value, applications, the blockchain technology to the capital markets, as well as merchant banking, etc. We were very, very early. We beat all the major banks on Wall Street. We beat all the banks and all the financial centers in the world. We beat all of the technology companies to our knowledge. We had the first working model of capital markets application. We have the first patent applications, and our patent applications are written with worldwide global value transfer, peer-to-peer markets, peer-to-peer economy in mind. Very, very different, much more broad, much more overreaching, and forward-looking than mere remittances and payments. See, when I first looked at the Bitcoin technology, the first thing I thought was the peer-to-peer economy is now enabled. We're talking Wall Street, we're talking money, we're talking an entirely new paradigm in thinking, economic thinking, the peer-to-peer economy. So, in terms of investment, in terms of investors, let's discuss the concept of expected return. Expected return is the return expected or anticipated when you take the potential amount of money to be made in terms of absolute quantity, and you multiply that by the probability of making said money. And that would be your expected return. $1.65 quadrillion market is what Veritaseum's potential market is in becoming a window, a browser to the peer-to-peer economy. When I say a window or a browser, think of accessing the internet, and think of trying to access the internet and understanding what's on the internet simply by looking at it. Computer code, plugging wires into your arm, etc. Very difficult. You know, it works in the matrix, but in essence, in reality, that's not the way it works. So the way everybody accesses the internet, from computer geeks to grandmas to aunts to students to businessmen to everybody else, they take a browser, a piece of software with a graphical interface. It opens up a window and you peer into the internet. And with that browser, you get to see and participate in almost everything the internet has to offer. Veritaseum software is a browser into the peer-to-peer economy. Instead of being a browser into the internet, like Chrome or Mozilla, you have a browser into the peer-to-peer economy where it enables you to deal directly with anybody, with almost any asset, on a trust-free basis, zero trust, instantaneously without the need, assistance, or interference of middlemen, of gatekeepers, of third parties. So we wrap this up and bring it to expected return. 1.65 quadrillion market, 1.65 quadrillion dollar market, the potential market. That's A. B, we have the entities the members of the entities, founding members of the entities, very well suited. Intellectual property attorneys, software engineers, financial analysts, financial engineers, and market participants. We have the first, second, and third patent applications in the entire industry. I believe we're there. And we have the fight and the desire to make a change. You see, when I first looked at the Bitcoin information, I first looked at the Bitcoin wiki, I didn't see remittances, I saw a vision. My vision was to make a difference, to empower everybody, to unlock the potential that everybody has.